Alright, so check this out, right? I heard it, so you gotta hear it. This is a little story time or whatever. So, I was talking to this old man. His name is Ray Ford. He was a cool dude. Real cool dude. But, one day he said something to me. Because, niggas was confessing sins and shit like that or whatever. And we started talking about lust. And we started talking about masturbation and shit like that. Just to go ahead and just put a trigger warning in case motherfuckers are too weak to hear stuff like that. We were talking about that. Because, I got my problems. I confessed to him. And then he was like, hey, man. He said, you want to know something? I used to have that same problem back in the day. Hey, look. It's wild when people just be open with shit like that. And it's always taught me to just be transparent, bro. Like, the realest people... I've gotten the realest advice from people who told me the wildest shit that I've ever heard in my fucking life. But that's how it be when you comfortable, when you really building or whatever, right? Anyway, so he said that shit, but he was like, one day I stopped. He was like, and I thought about it. It's like masturbation, when you're playing with yourself, you're raping yourself. And I was like, whoa, wait a minute, bro. Hold the fuck on now. What are you saying? And he's like, think about it. If you try to have sex with somebody that's not in the mood, or you start feeling and touching all upon them, what would that be called, right? Molestation, rape, right? I was like, yeah, essentially, yes, yeah, you're exactly right. He was like, so exactly. And when we masturbate, what? Sometimes you don't even want to do it. Sometimes you have no reason to do it. Sometimes you don't feel that way at all. You bring yourself into that mood. You force yourself into that mood so that you can get a desired effect. You're raping your own body, man. And I was like, God damn, nigga, ain't no way. Ain't no fucking way. I could never think about it the same after that, bro. I could never think about it the same after that. That shit blew me. Blew the fuck out of me. But what y'all think about that, though? That nigga wild. What do y'all think about that? So, that's when I started thinking, I wonder what I could do about this. Because that is wild to think about. But what am I going to do if I ever feel it again? So then I start taking my guilty ass online. How do I do this? How do I fight that? The Bible says just run away from it. Both literally and figuratively. And I tell you, you might look crazy, you might sound crazy, but nigga, take off, bro. I'm telling you, bro. So, boom. Then I started learning about semen retention. And I was like, what the fuck? Started learning about the chi and the chakras. So much to get into that I'm not going to get into this video, bro. It's too long. But I started getting into that, and I was like, you know what? Okay. Then I started remembering some of the knowledge that I would learn from like the tantric, the shit, and even some shit that's we're not supposed to talk about, like the bad stuff, evil, dark, white people stuff. No offense. And sexual energy is very powerful, and you got spirits out here that feed off that shit, right? So my thing is, alright, if that's the case, if this lustful spirit is actually a bad thing, right? And would that mean that one is possessed? And if that is the case, would that mean that there is a separate entity using your own body to molest you and rape you? I mean, I know this is fucking wild, bro. I know it's wild. Just listen to me, though, bro. Just listen. So, boom. We can cast spells on people just by looking at them. By looking at their picture. By knowing their name. On some Death Note shit. And if that's the case, if energy can be transferred, what makes you think that the energy cannot be exchanged? Especially when they do love spells and they start tying shit together and shit. Burning shit together and shit. Burying shit together and shit. Like, come on, bro. So, boom. The one and only Lilith. Now, I'm just going to use this face, this image, as an example of the overall spirit that I'm speaking of, okay? What you do or do not know about Lilith will not be discredited by anything I'm saying right now, okay? I can do another video on that if you want. I got so much shit in this mind, I just need to throw it out there to somebody, bro. I'm tired of just keeping it to myself. So, I was thinking, alright, maybe if we can do all that, and all these spirit shit works the way that they saying it is, that means that just may very well be the case. But if that is the case, what type of spirit will be responsible for that? The succubus is a sexual spirit. Succubus, incubus. It is an interchangeable androgynous spirit. And guess what it does? What the female is said to do anyway. Because we can debate. Some of y'all know more than what I know, because y'all really in there. I just know because I'm right up here with it. Now, look. The females are said to come to the men at night while they sleep. Some of the men even had to start wrapping themselves with cloth to protect themselves from leaking, so that they wouldn't stain their sheets and clothes. They were stealing semen to engender demons, okay? To give birth to more demons. And the males are sleeping with the women when they sleep. Obviously with no consent on both ends of the coin. So what does that sound like? Rape? They can take on this person's body. They can influence this person's body through the spirit of lust by being the vibration of lust itself. Having it emanating through your flesh, creating lustful dreams of having sex with the man or the woman with no face. I know you know what I'm talking about. Be careful. Some of y'all get faces. And some of y'all weird and like the dragon shit. So some of y'all get that in there. Be careful, bro. Don't rape yourself, bro. Save your energy, because they can soak it up. A physical woman doesn't even have to be in front of you. The moment that you lust upon that picture, the moment that you relieve yourself to that picture, you are trading energy to that person. You're giving that person, you are feeding that demon. However you want to call it. So, come on now. Ain't that crazy? This nigga said, you're raping yourself. You just made me stop. I was like, nigga, yeah, it will. It'll make you learn about semen retention. It'll make you learn not to give yourself to everyone. And that there's a reason why our parents told us not to have sex, and why the Bible tells us not to have sex until marriage. Marriage not being the one in church, but marriage being the proper union, the proper recognition of God and Goddess within the flesh and the soul, my nigga. I'm out. That's all I got left. My brains get scattered again.